Good morning to you. It is Wednesday the 10th of April and this is Kay Adams with you till 12 on BBC Radio Scotland. Is it time to lift the booze ban on ScotRail trains? The outgoing managing director says opinion is still split. So where do you stand? 08085 92 95 00 is the number. Also coming up this morning.
I've spent my life celebrating people through food and through music. Now I'm taking my passion for parties the length and breadth of the UK.
The wonderful Andy Oliver brings us fabulous feasts. What's not to like? Karen McKenzie brings us a humdrum conundrum.
Am I wrong for not letting my mother-in-law have a key to our house?
And that was sent in by Karen's son-in-law. We have changed the names to protect the innocent. Text your thoughts to 80295.
I need somebody help, not just anybody help. You know
Well, help is on hand if you've had a raw deal. Consumer rights expert Martin James is here with advice on sorting out rip-offs, refunds or returns. Call or text and...
sending him a 4-page letter, and I enclosed it with a kiss.
It's when only a handwritten letter will do. That's all after the phone in. Is it time to lift the...
Simon with a 5.46.
Yeah, I thought it was clackers at first, but it's not. It's the Rubik's Cube, which is 50 years old, and we are going to meet a guy who can do his Rubik's Cube in 5 seconds.
Mornings on BBC Radio Scotland.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Apparently the world record is 3.1 seconds. Can you believe it, to sort a Rubik's Cube in less than 5 seconds? Anyway, we'll be talking about that a little bit later. We're going to be talking to Andy Oliver very, very shortly. But first of all, don't often do this, but Donna and Gordon, you appealed to our hearts here. They've been in touch to say that their favourite Aunt Irene loves the show and she listens every day, and she's 80 today. So happy birthday, Irene. I hope you have a fantastic day. Here's Genesis.
Everything she sees.
Invisible Touch there from Genesis. It brings back bad memories, I've got to be honest with you. I was just listening to that and thinking, God, that takes me back to goodness knows when, with a boyfriend who was absolutely obsessed with Genesis, and to be honest, I hated them, and I had to listen to album after album after album with my eyes rolling back in my head, pretending to like it and going, yeah, this is a good one. Oh, sorry, Genesis fans out there, I just had to get it off my chest. It is 11 minutes past 10. From the Great British Menu to fabulous feasts, Chef Andy Oliver has taken to the road to do what she does best, throw great parties and cook great food. And she's here to tell us all about it. Good morning, Andy.
Hello, my lovely. How are you?
I am very well. And I was thinking about you, and what a perfect concept for you, because throwing great parties and cooking great food is in your DNA, isn't it?
It kind of is in my DNA. And it's also the thing that sort of has sustained me throughout my life, I have to say. I mean, it sort of almost sounds like a bit of a ridiculous statement, but to me, a party can be 2 people, it can be 20 people, it can be 200 people. It's just about a kind of gathering together of spirit and mind and body and sustenance just when you need it most. And that's really what a party, the real essence of a party is, in my opinion. And, you know, growing up, we had loads of parties in my house when I was a single mother, having parties, having people round, bringing people together and creating energy in our house was something that changed everything for me. It gave me community. It gave me family, it gave me support, it gave me all the things that I needed as a young mother to kind of get through. So parties are important. It sort of sounds like they're frivolous in lots of ways, but actually they're very, very important, I think.
Well, yeah, and I think that is such a good way to do it. And to come back to the series Fabulous Feast, which is on Wednesday, 8 p.m. on BBC Two, and the first 2 episodes are out on iPlayer. It is about bringing people together, isn't it, and celebrating communities, because, you know, the places that you've gone and the people that you've brought together have been very well thought out, haven't they?
Oh, it's been brilliantly thought out. And I have met the most incredible people up and down this country, people that have restored my faith in humanity, in Britain and in each other. You know, we live in a very odd time, you know, where if all you do is read social media and watch the news, you could be forgiven for feeling absolutely awful all the time and really quite depressed. But actually, it's like the people that make the loudest noise, I think, are possibly the people that are most divisive, the people that are bringing us together and holding communities down and doing wonderful things. They kind of do it quietly, Kay. They just get on with it. They get up every day and they do beautiful things for each other. Like last week's episode in Bristol, we met a man called Jasper, who is just extraordinary. He was single-handedly dealing with homelessness and unhoused people on his own, really. I mean, he's created this incredible team, but he started it on his own, building shipping containers, making them into habitats for people who have nowhere else to go, giving them support, financial, mental health support, social living skills, bringing them back into society, into community, and giving them their lives back. And the same is in Bridlington this week. I meet the most incredible array of people, and everybody uplifts the soul. You know, every single town I went to, I left feeling better about the world and who we are in it.
Well, I mean, that's nice too, because ultimately I guess it's a telly job, but it sounds as if it's been quite a life-affirming experience for you.
Yes, and you know, I mean, you're on the telly, Kay. You know, it's like you do things, and a lot of the time you're doing things, you're talking about things, and sometimes you're learning stuff that's new. Sometimes you're doing things that you're not necessarily that interested in, but it's your work, and you do it with all your heart and soul. This show in particular means everything to me. It's from the depths of my heart, and being able to do it was such a privilege, and getting the chance to meet these incredible people and really talk about the things that were incredibly important to me was such a gift. It really was.
And so, given that it carried such importance, how did you choose the food? Because that's such a big part of it, isn't it?
Well, I didn't choose the food until I met the people.
All right.
Because I think that's really important. That these are not sort of dishes. I mean, they are some of the things I've cooked before. Some of the things we came up with on the spot. Some of the things we came up with, like for instance, in Folkestone, in Kent, we wanted to make a dish that encapsulated all of the different incredible communities there are there. There's so many different. There's a Tamil community that's really strong. There are people from Eastern Europe. There are people from Asia. I mean, the breadth of the community and the different people and their backgrounds in Folkestone is quite. Hang on a sec, Mum. Just doing a live radio interview. Just Mum's
Hello,
going to
Mum.
do their shopping. Hi, Mum. Wave. You're on the radio. Let's see. There's you. And the people. So we came up with this dumpling because I learned how to make these Tibetan dumplings when I was there, and I came up with this dumpling that used lamb mince, and then we used Kentish sour cherries, and then we used spices from the Tamil community. So we used different bits of inspiration from different parts of the community to come up with one delicious bite, one incredible mouthful. Hang on a second, family, do you think you could just out? Like,
Oh, goodness.
they know what I'm doing and they're still in it. Okay?
On this occasion, it's radio. What a shame it's not
This
television.
is the story of my life. So everybody listening to this, I just want you to know this is what it's like in my house. Everybody just gets on with it anyway. Well, I'm trying.
This is Andy Oliver bossing her own house. It is fantastic. It really is. It's good. So if you were to come to Scotland, we've actually had this conversation. You probably know where I'm leading you, Andy. If you're going to come to Scotland and you were going to be making a feast here, I tried to catch you out in a previous interview saying, "Oh, I bet you don't know much about porridge, Andy," and you completely flummoxed me because you went into this elaborate porridge recipe, and I thought, "Oh my goodness, didn't expect
my lovely savoury roast pumpkin savoury parmesan porridge.
That's the
That
one.
is good porridge. That is a good porridge, Kay. I'm going to make you for that. Isn't it you that hated? Was it you that hated porridge, or was it your mate?
No, I love porridge. It was my mate.
That was your friend that she didn't really like porridge. So yeah, there's a roast, like a sort of caramelised onion, roasted pumpkin, kind of cumin seed savoury porridge, and you finish it off with parmesan. That's delicious.
That was it.
Also do something with Arbroath Smokies. I love an Arbroath Smoky. Oh my goodness! Actually, do you know what I might try for you to make for you? When we were in Bridlington, we took all these kids out fishing, and they'd never been out on the sea, even though they'd grown up in Bridlington, which is in East Yorkshire. It's right on the coast. It's the lobster capital of Europe. They'd never been out on a boat. They'd never been fishing. They'd never been on the sea. We went out fishing, and you know how I feel about the cold, Kay, so I wasn't overly thrilled about the concept, but we went out and we had a fantastic time. We caught loads of mackerel, and on the boat we gutted them and filleted them, and then I made these fresh pan-fried like mackerel cheesy toasted sandwiches.
Yeah.
And they were absolutely delicious. So I feel like we could do something of a similar ilk with an Arbroath Smoky.
Yes.
Those smokies are just, the flavour in those smokies is one of the most amazing things I've experienced in British cuisine overall, like right across the country. Well, I did a radio show called Kitchen Cabinet, and we went, and the guy who made them under these burlap sacks.
Yep.
Brought them out, and he just made them. Honestly, one of the flavour taste dining experiences of my life. Unforgettable.
Well, what does food do for you, though? Because when I watch you talking about food, you kind of transcend. I mean, it's amazing.
I think that, food is the cornerstone. We have to feed ourselves. We have to feed each other. We've got to look after ourselves. And I think that food is the universal language of unification. It's the universal language of love. It's the universal way that you can say hello to a stranger. The reason that breaking bread is that cliche phrase is there is because it's about sharing something of yourself, all that you have. The poorest and most people living in the most challenging of circumstances will give you half a piece of their bread. They will give you half of their biscuit. They'll give you half of what they have left. I find something about cooking for other people, whether it's a a feast where you've got a whole bunch of money, you can do whatever you want, or whether you've got 10 quid to spend and you can get what you've got and just get really inventive in the kitchen, whatever it is. I find it very touching because I feel like it's a message from my heart to yours.
Yeah.
And I think that's what food should be. It should be that exchange. It should be that moment of souls meeting.
Yeah, and it does go over language barriers, doesn't it? Because you could be sitting with people that you can't actually converse with in their language or your language, but you can go,
Exactly. And that speaks volumes, you know, when somebody's face lights up. It's one of my favourite things in the world is if I've made somebody something to eat and, you know, you put it down and you see them take a bite and their face transforms, and knowing that you can do that, knowing that I can do that just from a plate of like a broth. Like yesterday I made a very simple chicken broth. I've been making, I kind of have stocks on all the go when I'm at home, on the go all the time when I'm at home. And I had this like chicken broth and somebody was coming over. So I got some bonus chicken thighs. I put them in the pan. I had a little bit of nduja, you know, that lovely soft chorizo sausage, put that in with some butter. I sauteed a few potatoes and I put it all in a bowl and put the butter on top. And suddenly we had this lovely sort of soul enriching, delicious thing to eat out of nowhere. You know, they came down, we sat down, we started eating, and suddenly we were like a little family for a couple of hours. You know, it was lovely.
It's lovely. And have you passed this on to your daughter Makita? Because I know, of course, you do your podcast Stirring It Up together. So does she share this passion for food?
She has got it now. When she was younger, she was a little bit like, can you shut up about your stupid chickens? You know what I mean? But you know, she's Scottish, Kate.
Yes, I know.
Oh, Scottish. She's been spending a lot of time in Scotland lately with her family, I've got to say, which has been lovely for her. So, but she does love food now. Yeah, she loves to cook. She loves food. We loved doing dinner parties together because I think it's something that we did all her life. So for her, it's like when she comes, because she doesn't live here, she lives just up the road, really. So when she comes here and we're doing our podcast, it was her idea to do it actually as a dinner party for us to invite people around the table. They bring a guest with them. She said, Mum, because everybody kept saying, oh, do it, you know, so many podcasts around. There's so many gimmicky podcasts. They were like, you know, do a podcast where you're standing on one leg, hopping up and down, trying to interview people, whatever it was. And she said, look, if we're going to do it, we need to make it authentic and do something that we do anyway. So having dinner parties is what we do, Mum. Let's just do what we do. So that's what we've done. And we're loving it. We have a great time doing it, making the table lovely. We've got all these beautiful fabrics that we buy wherever we go, whether it's down the market in Ridley Road or on holiday. We went to Kenya. We bought fabric back from this amazing women's collective called Kabisa, where they help support women to be independent by sewing and making all sorts of incredible clothes and jewelry. So we bought loads of tablecloths and beautiful things from them. We bring those back, or we go down the market. So you can get fabulous fabric in any market, in any place in Britain. There's a market, you'll be able to get fabric. Put that on your table, get yourself a little candle, light it up, and it transforms the moment. Yeah. And I think that's what dinner parties are about, transforming the moment. Yeah. And we need moments uplifted these days, don't we?
We sure do. We absolutely do. We need some feel-good stuff. And you'll also find it on Fabulous Feast, which is the series that Andy's got going out at the moment. The first 2 eps, as I say, are on at iPlayer, but you will also find it on a Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on BBC Two. Always a joy to speak to you, Andy. Thank you so much.
Hello to all our listeners across the USA, from New York State to Florida and live across LA. And hi to everybody in Canada as well. We've never ever been there, but we hear it's a nice place. The Chris Moyle Show. We've never been to Canada.
Oh, that was great speaking to Andy, wasn't it? Just gives you a bit of a boost, a bit of a lift. And as she says, we certainly need some feel good at the moment. Still to come.
Help!
or should I say our consumer rights expert, Martin James, is here to help. So if you have paid good money for something and you've got a raw deal, then get in touch with Martin and he will help you sort things out. 80295 is the text number.
Ho! Brothers and sisters, I want to welcome you back to life. Back to the one that can make your next chapter your best chapter. Hallelujah.
How can it be that you love the most unlovable part of me? Of me? How could you see your life was the only gift I'll ever need to be free? It's amazing with you. I win even if I lose. Everything's working for my good for always.
Come on.
He saves the day. He will come through. He won't now. That's not what superheroes do.
Hallelujah.
No greater love makes my heart beat. All I wanna do is make you proud of me.
That's why
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
let's go.
How can it be? Every one of my secrets got you here.
You cover me.
You cover me.
I appreciate it.
A mystery.
It's amazing how
Your patience with me, God will never leave.
you don't give up on me.
Don't ever leave.
Help me.
Help me to see like you.
Like you.
No matter what I go through,
Hey.
everything's working for my good for always.
Let me tell you what he does.
He saves the day.
And he
He
will.
will come through.
Hallelujah.
He won't now. That's not what superheroes do.
Not real superheroes.
No greater love
A love like this.
makes my heart beat.
And I promise you,
All I wanna do is make you proud of me.
that's why.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Yes.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
I searched all over.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
You.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
That's right.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Yes. And the church sang, come on.
Loving you will be,
Jesus loving you.
will be the death of me.
It sounds crazy, don't it? Hey,
That's how it's supposed to be.
let me tell you what it means.
More than less of me.
That's why.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Father.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
I really mean it this time.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Jesus.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Let me tell you what he does.
He saves the day.
Come on.
He will come through.
He will let you down, but
He won't now. That's not what superheroes do.
see, I will never find
No greater love
a love like this.
makes my heart beat.
Forever and a day.
All I wanna do is make you proud.
Let me say it again.
He saves the day. He will come through.
It feels so good.
He won't now. That's not what superheroes do.
Yes.
No greater love
Hallelujah.
makes my heart beat.
For the rest of my life.
All I wanna do is make you proud of me.
Everybody sing.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
You.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
You're the Savior.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Yes.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Your mornings just got better.
On BBC Radio Scotland.
We played Beyonce especially there because Karen McKenzie, she loves a bit of line dancing. She really does.
To take you back to a wedding.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Get your wee thumbs into your belt hooks and do all that stuff. You do, don't you?
It was never
Don't be
my
shy.
gig.
Don't be shy. Come on, you can tell everyone. We've got Sue Elliott-Nichols with us. She's very kind and forgiving, aren't you, Sue? How are you, Sue?
Very forgiving. I did country dancing at primary school.
Oh, what did you do? What was your...
You had to sort of like clap your knees and clap your hands. Year 6, it was just basically a chance to dance with the boys in Year 6.
Oh, I know. But the thing was, I don't know if this happened where you went to school. I'm sure it did where you were, Karen. It was like girls at one end of the hall, boys at the other end of the hall.
And you were the last one to be picked.
And then it was, right, boys, go and pick your partners. And if you were the one that was standing there like a complete lemon at the end.
So cruel.
I know. Have you ever got over that, Karen?
She's horrible.
She's traumatised, Sue. We might have to just spend more time with you. I bet you were always... I bet you were always the first one chosen, Sue.
I wasn't the first one chosen, but I don't remember the boys being that reluctant in Year 6 at my school. I think they were all pretty keen to kind of like, clap hands with the girls. Because it was moving on, wasn't it, from kicking each other?
That's right. I know that is a sort of strange childhood courtship, wasn't it? If a boy liked you, then he would come up and kick you or slap you or something.
Yeah. Yeah, so they were I suppose they were sort of learning the next stage of social graces. I used to help at the school disco at my kids' school, and they all used to run around kicking each other. You could tell who liked who by kicking that was going on.
And then the odd grunt. Yes, push your shoulder.
Oh, we're digressing, but we love a digression. We're going to hear the conundrum in a second, but first of all, Karen and I do like an opportunity to have a look at your kitchen, Sue. You know that we like that. And can I say, I don't want to be critical, but have you done the washing up this morning or not?
Yes. Well, that's my it's a sort of round flower vase, and so you have to leave it upside down with the
right. I'll let you off
inside it.
Oh, right. I was just sort of seeing the bottom of the Le Creuset pan. I thought on the kitchen sink.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's the stacking.
Yes, that's the stacking.
Right.
Very good. Very good. We've
husband have recently bought a new house in the town he grew up in. He's an only child and his mum lives nearby, but before we were really in the door, she asked for a key to be cut so she could pop in whenever she suited. She has even left clothes and toiletries so she can stay overnight. My husband is often away with work trips, and I think his mum doesn't really want me to feel lonely, especially as it's a new area for me. I don't have a problem with her popping round occasionally, but being able to access the house at all times feels a little uncomfortable. I know she's just being nice, but she lives really close by, so I don't think she needs to be staying over quite so often, and I like my own space. I don't want to upset her or my husband, but I'd like to set some boundaries. Am I wrong for not letting my mother-in-law have a key to our house?
This is a powder keg. This is an absolute powder keg. So can I just tell you, just to be delicate here, obviously data protection is very important to us. People's privacy is really important to us. So we make sure that obviously you don't know who these people really are. It is actually Karen's son-in-law. But we're not going to give his name because we take privacy very seriously. Anyway, Karen, what do you think?
Can I just say that it is actually somebody that I know, and they just told me about it last week.
Is it?
And we have changed the name.
Oh,
I
even better.
know.
She's trying to distract us, Sue, but never mind. Let's just go with her.
Can you imagine this young couple barely in the door, and there's already somebody, the in-law, asking for a key? That's just grim. Have they forgotten about it? They're married. These ones are married. Yeah. I mean, what about young romance? God, not even a text or anything in advance. Just so I can pop in at any point.
But is she going to say to her husband or partner's mum,
it's up to the husband.
You cannot have a key?
Do you, or do you just not bring it? I mean, the point is you don't ask for a key, you wait to be offered, don't you think? I mean,
But she's asked for the key. What does this young woman do?
Well, I think her reason is that she probably thinks that the young woman is lonely. I think you have to make it clear that no, you actually value your own time. It's lovely to have just time on your own, and that because you're a shift worker or whatever, then it's just nice to chill out. I think you have to say, I think that's a really good idea for down the line when maybe some little children come along and then by that time you'll have moved. I mean, you just wouldn't be hanging around I mean, it's awful. It's awful that in a new home, and this is just, what a nightmare.
So she's not the most welcoming.
No, I know. And she might pop round at inopportune moments.
Exactly.
When the grandchildren are being,
conceived.
With a twinkle in the eye.
Sorry. Sorry.
I think she should just say, yes, okay, fine. She's probably just being nice. She's probably just keeping an eye on her. And then if it gets awkward down the line, then kind of hand it over to the husband, because it might not. She might be making a drama out of nothing. And imagine, Karen, having the key to your son-in-law's house.
So what would you do with it?
Oh, I'd snoop, wouldn't you? I'd definitely snoop.
No, you'd be frightened what you'd find.
Well, you wouldn't snoop.
No, you'd go through the kitchen cupboards, but that's probably as much as I would do.
But I mean, I wouldn't snoop up, in the bedroom. I'd definitely snoop in the kitchen.
But then you wouldn't need to snoop. You could do that while they're there.
Oh, no, you need free reign.
You do.
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah.
When I'm snooping in people's houses, just to warn anyone who might invite me to their house, I go straight for the bathroom cabinet.
See the drugs?
Well, I don't know, but that's where you get the best stuff.
Like what?
The bathroom cabinet.
What would you find?
I don't know. There's just something kind of intimate about a bathroom cabinet. You get to know the person underneath the person. That's what I recommend to everyone who's a chief snooper. I think what worries me about this woman, I have to say, Sue, is that she's left clothes and toiletries, which suggests more than coming to water the plants every couple of weeks.
Sounds like she's lonely, doesn't it? It sounds like Mum's lonely.
Yeah, you do. And you don't want that with you 5 nights a week, do you? You just don't. I mean, this even the son, is it the son that's away working? It is. So, he's moved out of the house, and before you know it, his mother's moved into their new home.
Oh, you can sit and watch telly together.
Yeah, it's so nice. Have a little puddle in bed, watch a bit of telly, hot chocolate.
No,
and she lets herself in.
It's just so wrong, Sue. You have to agree. It's just not right. The point is, she should never have asked. You have to wait to be offered.
It potentially could be a problem further down the line, but I feel like she should just say yes for now, because it might be fine. And if she does come round a little bit too much, then obviously hand the problem over.
Do you not think it's screaming out the fact that the PJs are already there? I mean, that's not an accident, is it?
But do you know what, Sue, as you often do, you have opened up a window to our better selves. And I am thinking about this now. In this woman asking for a key, is she not just saying, I am lonely and I need a little bit of company? And in that respect, Karen, and I'm asking you to try and find your better self here, would you not think...
Struggling here. Hold on, I'm trying to focus.
that this young woman wouldn't be better to think, do you know what? My partner's mum is a wee bit lonely. She's trying to establish a relationship with me. She's trying to be part of this wonderful extended family that we have created together. And therefore, I will open my heart and my home to this woman and give her the key and let her pop round. What harm does it do? It's a joyful thing.
No. I think what you could do is you could invite her round for a meal. Okay, that would be nice.
How often?
That's lovely. I don't know, actually. I don't know. Maybe once a month. Is that too much? Too much.
I like this idea of the kind of her popping in, that kind of fluid.
No, but the point is, she'll be the one that's doing the cooking. Then she'll try and help out and say she's doing the washing. And then before you know it, the blinking furniture will all be rearranged and it won't be your own home. She'll start taking in stuff from her own house.
I mean, I would judge if I would absolutely love my
in a wild goose chase here, Sue.
No. I would never ask. I was given them.
But you give people that look. That's what you do.
That's my default. I can't help
Well,
that.
listen, we're going to have to stop here because, Sue, this has been a farce, this entire 8 minutes. She's sat there and she's railed against... She's railed against this poor, lonely old woman. And in fact, she's sitting there rattling the keys to her own daughter's home.
Do you ever go and have a little snoop when they're, like, away?
No, I'm carrying this baby around now. There's no time. But in the past, no. When I was down feeding the cats, let me just think, no. Kitchen only, in the fridge, absolutely. That's it.
Get up to the
frightened to know what
cabinet.
you find out.
Get up to the bathroom cabinet.
Did you have to talk it through to yourself as you went and don't look?
No.
I mean, I have to do that when I go.
No qualms. Oh, do you?
Really?
Yeah, I sort of say, no, don't go in, don't go. It's not right. It's not the right thing to do, Sue.
As you're walking towards the door.
As I walk in the door, I mean, yeah. And I always regret it. I always regret it. Always find something I wish I hadn't found. And then what do? Then you've got to kind of find a way of mentioning it without dropping yourself in it. You see, this is another thing that's going to happen. I think the mother-in-law will dig her own grave. I think she should just let it go. Or she could start giving the mother-in-law loads and loads of things to do.
No!
You two are twisted. You really are.
Decking needs cleaning. I've got no time. Oh, you've got the key. I mean, she could turn it to her advantage.
She'd end up being in the main bedroom. And the couple would end up being the twin guests.
Right, it's getting weird now. We're stopping, okay? We're just stopping because it's getting weird. Sue, thank you very much indeed. I thought you were supposed to be the nice person. You turned evil at the end there.
The true self comes out.
At least Karen's evil from the get-go. So there is the humdrum conundrum today. Is this young woman wrong for not letting her mother-in-law have a key to her house?
This might be my last conundrum.
It could be. It could be. Have you ever been in that situation, either as the mother-in-law who would like to hold the key, or indeed the father-in-law, or indeed the young person who does not want in-laws around in the house uninvited? 80295.
I was at the mall, sipping on a milkshake, playing the wall, taking a break, admiring the girls with the bamboo earrings, baby hair, and bodies built to swing. That's when I seen her. Her name was Tina. Grace and poise, kinda like a ballerina. I said, how you doing? My name's Big L. Don't ask me how I'm living, cause yo, I'm living swell. But then again, I'm living kinda foul, cause my girl don't know that I'm out on the prowl. To make a long story short, I got the digits. Called her on my car phone and paid her a visit. She had a big old booty, I was doing my duty. I mean, yo, I admit that my girl's a cutie, but Tina was exotic. Earl's my witness, with the kind of legs that put stockings out of business. When I went home, I kissed my girl on the cheek, but in the back of my mind, it was this big butt freak. I sat my girl down, I couldn't hold it in, and said to her, with a devilish grin, Tina got a big old butt. I know I told you I'd be true, but Tina got a big old butt, so I'm leaving you. Tina got a big old butt. I know I told you I'd be true, but Tina got a big old butt, so I'm leaving you. I went to the high school about 3 o'clock to try to catch a cutie, ride my jock, my homeboy's Jeep, the system blasting, cold 40 dogs, smiling and laughing, girls all over, the kind I adore. I felt like a kid in a candy store. That's when I seen her. Her name was Brenda. She had the kind of booty that I'd always remember. I said to my man, stop the Jeep. She's only 17, but yo, don't sleep. I kicked the bass like an NFL punter and scoped the booty like a big game hunter. I said to the girl, yo, you look tired. Let's go get some rest. Relax by the fire. I put the big booty on the basket rug. She gave me a kiss. I gave her a hug. I said to the girl, them young boys ain't nothing. You wanna get freaky? Let me kiss your belly button. When I was through, I wiped the sweat from my eyes. Went to the kitchen and got some sweet potato pies. Tina busted in my house while I was eating. You know what I said? Too bad you caught me cheating, but Brenda got a big old butt. I know I told you I'd be true, but Brenda got a big old butt, so I'm leaving you. Brenda got a big old butt. I know I told you I'd be true, but Brenda got a big old butt, so I'm leaving you. I went to Red Lobster for shrimp and steak around the time when the waitresses are on their lunch break. I walked in the place, everybody was looking, and shrimp and steak wasn't the only thing cooking. I sat down to eat, ordered my food. I said to the waitress, I don't mean to be rude, but I'll take you on a platter. She said, you got a girl. I said, it don't matter. You look like you're tastier than piping hot pizza. What's your name? She said, my tag says Lisa. I said, okay, you're smart and all that, but when you get off work, yo, I'll be back. She walked out the door, I threw my tongue down her throat, pushed her back aside and pulled off her coat. On and on till the break of dawn. All over the restaurant, word is born. I heard somebody coughing, I checked my watch. I couldn't believe it said 9 o'clock. I grabbed my pants, put on my Kango. Who did I see? Oh, yo, it was Brenda. Yo, she worked at Red Lobster, but I didn't remember. Lisa got a big old butt. I know I told you I'd be true, but Lisa got a big old butt, so I'm leaving you. See ya. Lisa got a big old butt. I know I told you I'd be true, but Lisa got a big old butt, so I'm leaving you. See ya.
Which is actually the perfect tune to play after that humdrum from Karen's, isn't it? Would you tell your mother-in-law that she's not getting a key to your house? Because, ooh, that is going to be a tricky conversation. Martin James is here for our consumer surgery, taking calls from 11 o'clock, 08085 92 95 00. But I do always love to get Martin's opinion on the humdrum conundrum. Morning, Martin.
Good morning, Kate. That's the sound of me cackling in the background. Sorry.
Okay. How would you navigate that one, Martin?
Oh, as soon as you read out the conundrum, you could have probably heard me from 500 miles away going, no! It's absolutely not. You just have to be really firm about this one. It is opening the door literally to chaos. Even the nicest parents in the world will inadvertently exploit the situation. In fact, I had to help my sister get the keys back off my parents by borrowing them when I went around to stay.
Oh, really?
Because they were just marching in. It's to bless them.